Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Double Cellar. This is another episode of the talk show with Rodrigo Raquio. So, here I am once again. Actually, I skipped last Saturday because I didn't have anything new to talk about. Of course, everything going on right now. What is the most trendy thing going on happening at this moment that actually is affecting all of us? Coronavirus. Should I mention it anymore? Right? Of course not. I'm not here really to speak about any topic related to that. Where in a way there are a lot of things actually that are connecting to this entire virus situation, and of course it's gonna get mentioned one way or the other in this half-hour talk show that I always try to do. I wanted to do it every single Saturday, but at the same time I was thinking, probably I got nothing new to tell these days, so that's why today I took the time to actually ask some of my friends on Facebook, whoever is watching, by the way, thank you for your time for listening and watching this show. And the reason why I decided to do a status today, 12 hours ago, asking can anybody suggest me any topic to be talked tonight at my talk show. I'm hosting it at 9:30 p.m. So it happens I have my friend Gillian Underhill talking about Exodus, Testament, and Death Angel Euro COVID tour, maybe, right? So in regards to that matter, because as you guys know, basically Chuck Billy, the singer of Testament, he was affected actually by the COVID-19 while they were touring all together, and the drummer of Death Angel as well, he was one of the people who got exposed and affected by the whole coronavirus, and which is a very sad situation in a way. Hi Melanie, how are you doing? So what happens is the whole thing is pretty sad in a way, because as you guys have been hearing more news coming up in regards to cancellations of a lot of activities that they're supposed to happen this summer. Where in the North Hemisphere, just to make this clear to the rest of the world out there, that here in the North Hemisphere we have a summer in July, right? While in other countries in the South Hemisphere they have a winter in July, right? So the thing is a lot of the events that they were going to happen, a lot of the tours, music tours, movie events, right? That they will play on the theaters and all of that. They have been postponed, canceled. A lot of great movies, hits that were coming on the way. Of course, we have access still to new releases of bands, new music and all of that. Especially Testament. They just released a new album called what is the Titans of Titans of Creation or something like that. Right, and the thing is, sorry, yes, I was listening to Testament the other day, but at the same time, I was checking out some of the older albums that I didn't get to keep up track with, Dark Roots of Earth and things like that, right? So the thing is, now they release a new album, right? But at the same time, Titans of Creation, that's what the name of it, right? And the thing is, Chuck Billy actually was touring along with Testament and Death Angel, and the drummer got affected by it, by getting the coronavirus, right? Now, when you think about this thing, okay, sure, when you're a musician, probably the chances are if you are gonna be whoring around on tour or anything like that, people they used to be so scared about AIDS and things like that, HIV altogether, and now the whole thing it seems coronavirus has much more of a bigger impact than anything else, right? Because there's still there are preparations in regards of how people are gonna face this situation in regards to there's a vaccine being prepared and other things that basically they are being under investigation about to provide a solution in regards to this entire coronavirus happening. And of course, it's triggering in a way because a lot of people they are out of work, right? And basically, there's a system actually in each country that it provides a support to the locals in order to basically to continue on business or to continue surviving one way or the other if they are not getting their wages or anything like that, right? So the thing is, some people you see them being on favor of that, but at the same time others they are being against it. And the thing is, I was trying to analyze during the week what's it in regards to that situation, because myself, I'm one of those people who actually is getting, of course, the package, emergency package, right? And the thing is, yeah, I don't feel embarrassed if I mention it. Like, I mean, it's tough times, right? Like, I run a little small business myself, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that I make tons of money or I make myself rich out of it. It's just I continue working and doing freelancing work. But I applied for it, and basically I got it, right? Like after 1 week of applying. And the thing is, but what it is in regards to the people that they're working right now, or they're exposing themselves to the public, right? They're so-called the essential workers, right? I mean, everybody is essential in the end because we all have something important to play in society, right? But the thing is, what is being happening though is because since a few people, like in the case of myself, I got $2,000 in for 1 month, right? And the people who are actually working out there, they're trying to figure out a way, like in regards to their wages, to top it up, in order like for them to make the same amount to the people that they're getting the package, the emergency package, right? So some people, they are kind of saying, oh, you know what, like kind of what's so essential about them, this and that, like kind of they should go and get an education and all of that. You know what, I'm gonna tell you something honestly about that, because I used to believe like totally in the whole educational system. And you know what, I was one of those people who actually tried to go through with it. I didn't finish it, and it's okay, because basically it didn't cost me any more money than that in order to continue a certain education. For what? To the end on you graduate, and basically you cannot even finish it off, finish anything up, or you end up like working in something totally different to what you really study hard for, and for all the money, for all the savings that you use onto that kind of a educational program, right? Sometimes it doesn't really go as it's being programmed by yourself in order to achieve such career, right? So let's be realistic about this situation. Some of us, of course, like some people in society, they have the chance that this opportunity is given, and they get some backup monetary. Others, basically, they have to apply like in order to a government, like in order to obtain such support. Because it depends on the social class, like a kind of a economical class that they have, either like they are rich or poor. And at the same time, I would say like it doesn't matter who you are. Like many times they say like kind of oh, it's not so much about how much you know, it's about like who you know. That's how you enter into certain fields, right? But trust me, I have met many people who actually still pursue in their career, and they are the most freaking miserable pieces of shit that you can find out there. And I'm sorry that I had to say pieces of shit, because sometimes like the way they represent such thing, they might accomplish something, but they're never satisfied with anything. Well, to each their own. What can we do, right? But in this kind of situation that we're facing right now, when it comes to the actual problem, how like it's been announced that probably we would be like we wouldn't even get back to work, any of us, like until 4 months later or something, while other people like the essential workers, you know, people that they work at the stores, like with the public in regards to grocery stores, supermarkets, or anything that they are considered essential, liquor stores, right, things like that, kind of they are exposed to this whole situation, to this to work with the public, to deal with the public. And you know what, sometimes the public, like a kind of it doesn't take much to really thank these people who actually are risking their lives in order like to try and to make a living for themselves, for what they're going through, right? Because one way or the other, they put it out together, and they still go to work no matter what risk they are exposed to. You know, it doesn't take much to actually to thank them for their services, really. And a lot of people out there, they have been pretty rude about it, and they have been acting like a total what is that you say, like a classist pieces of shit, like kind of saying, oh, like why you're working on this thing, like why you didn't get your education, that's what happens to you for not getting some education or career or anything like that. So that's where like the whole thing, when people, they don't think of that. And some people, they're very judgmental in that way, those especially who they claim to have a career and all of that, they try to push it on to others, like a kind of to almost like to say, oh yeah, look at me, I have a career and you don't have it, kind of thing. Guess what? When it comes in situations like this, actually, those are very those people with so-called careers, they are very incapable of performing anything that the essential group of workers that actually they gotta deal with the general public. They are not really capable of performing the duties that the essential workers are really doing. So when it comes to situations like this, when we are facing in society like a situation, a pandemic situation like this, like with the coronavirus, we have to be considerate about the people that are exposing themselves to such risk, right? Because they can be the first ones to actually to get the virus, right? To be victims by it. And the thing is, when some people they are just they go and speak deliberately out there, just trying to judge them for what they are doing exactly, trying to measure themselves, do the whole wage thing, look at them they're just minimum wage workers, yeah, they should be doing their work, so basically because that's what they're good for, kind of thing. Some people, sometimes if you go to the forums out there, you wouldn't believe actually some of the postings that some people they make, and these are ignorant fuckers. Actually they're not willing to stand up from their seats and do anything physical at all. Sadly, that happens a lot, and that's one of the reasons why if you are watching this, basically I'm a person who actually I like to speak about social struggles, about different things, and this is the reason why I created this program, this talk show of the Devil's Cellar, which is another section from the video games that I make. And I'm not doing this to just become popular out of the whole tragedy, the whole thing of the coronavirus happening. It's just because there are many people out there that sometimes they have the tools and to work with things and express their emotions and their opinions through something, but they don't do it because they don't know any better. But this kind of a program that I have created, it helps for people to express their opinions. You're watching the show right now. Feel free to comment anything if you feel even disagreeing with anything. Of course, express it. You can go through the comment section, right? And you can express whatever things. If you're saying, "Oh, Rodrigo, I think you're wrong in this part. This is what I think of," right? Your opinion is very important, and that's why you have exactly 30 minutes to go in a talk show like this, what I'm doing right now, right? So the thing is, talking in general about activities and everything that was happening, because everything's still in the air. Nothing is really considered that it's coming to an end yet. I was actually, where was it? Going through some news of United States in regards that Trump wants to open the borders already because he wants to start getting things going economically, right? But that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna be a solution to any problem at all. And of course, we have to just be cooperative. And I'm actually really glad that many people they have been cooperative about it, because they are always they are taking consideration about the numbers, how they have been increased, how they have increased the numbers of deaths and people being victimized by this virus, right? They are taking care of themselves. They are following the protocols, right? If you want to say dictated or placed by the government, right? Through the media and the whole general information out there. At least they're following the instructions that is being in regards to wear your mask and wear your gloves and things like that. It's very important actually that people that are taking consideration finally about this. But to tell you from my own personal experiences, I remember that when the first few cases got announced, they were shown on the media, on the news, about the first few people that actually they were victims of the coronavirus, and that's where I spoke to my wife and I said, you know what? Let's get ready. Something good, something not good is coming along the way. So basically, start getting ready. Whenever we go out, we are gonna wear masks and gloves and take care of ourselves. And whenever we need to come back, whenever we go to the grocery store, we get what we need, and we make sure that actually we get the food for 1 week and a half, kind of thing, right? So that's how we do it. Basically, we just go only once in a while to the supermarket, at least 1 week and a half. And the thing is that we get the things that are necessary and bring it back in a taxi or vehicle or anything like that, right? But I would say things are very undefined at the moment. It's very uncertain. As you notice the title, it says uncertain, certain future, right? So it's kind of like it's still somewhere in between, and we cannot really say that we are very sure what's going to happen from here and after. The only thing is, of course, I think we're going in a certain way in a good step, because people that are putting attention to what's going on really right now, and they are being more cooperative, as I said earlier, they're taking the precautions that are necessary, like in order to deal with the public and all of that, and to remain at home, right? So the thing is, in regards to all activities, I know, like, it's gonna be hard, because they were announced so many music tours, movies coming out to the theater, other activities happening, concerts, and you name it, like a kind of a stuff for the public in your own cities or anything like that, and basically they had to be canceled and shut down in a certain way. Things are just in the air. At the same time, many businesses, they have actually been coming to the point of closing their doors. So it's been like a whole, almost like a cleansing of business out there. And it's pretty sad, pretty much like it really sucks in regards to that matter. Like a kind of the many activities many people they were looking forward to, in a way they had to be postponed. I'm gonna read some of the comments right now just to take a little break here. Thank you to, to Suji June for watching. Thank you to Melanie. Hey Melanie, how are you? Thanks to Hector Pilar. He actually lives in the United States. Josh Clark, how you doing, Josh? Suji say people will always pick on each other about something. Can't win regardless, so screw what others think, because either way, they're gonna be miserable or overly critical about something you did or didn't do. Hector Pilar says, I work outdoors and fuck those who look down on me. Very good. Gotta stand proud actually for what you do, right? We got a Dima McLaughlin watching. Also Hector says I see all these people freaking out over this. One lady I think was so paranoid. I believe a lot of people out there are very paranoid, right? But you wouldn't believe actually that it's just reminding myself about those first few weeks when they did the when they did the announcement of this entire virus breakout, the whole outbreak of the virus. It happened that a lot of people they were actually they were careless. They were just walking like nothing's going on. Oh, what is this person freaking about or anything like that? Where Suya and I, we were just wearing our mask and gloves since the whole thing got announced, right? And the thing is, some people they were looking at us we were kind of about almost we were going to rob the freaking supermarket. Yeah, right. We would love to do that. Sure, bullshit. We wouldn't do anything like that, right? But we will get the strangers' looks, right? But then you will start noticing more people they start to take the precautions of it. At the same time, it's said that the mask or the gloves, they're not really gonna protect you much from anything. You're still gonna be able to get that virus one way or the other, according to where you are exposed to, if you are near the public or anything like that, right? But I believe actually that at least as I always say, rather to prevent than cure, right? At least that we make the effort to avoid something, by giving our best, by following the protocol. It helps in that way. But by doing that part right, except for the contamination thing, how people they had to buy the masks and they had to dispose them, and some people it really triggers me when they start placing the garbage, it's like they're not doing anything better. They're just they wear these gloves and masks and they just go dispose them anywhere in the parks or in the walkways or anything like that, right? It's gets me, it's cringy, right? But at the same time, it's I'm glad that people that are taking their precautions that they have to follow, right, under this protocol announced by the prime minister or presidents out there. But I gotta say, in that part, in times like this, actually, the whole idea is not to look down on anybody, right? At the same time, the people who they are the essential workers, sure, they're doing a great thing and all of that, but at the same time, by being considered like as a very by playing an important role in this kind of situation as well, right? Nurses, like a hospital, like a crew and all of that. Um, sure, they're like a kind of in a way look up, like they look up, like kind of like they're heroes in a way. Sorry for cutting down in a way. Had a long day today, but at the same time, it's very like a kind of a important to consider that like in this kind of situation, nobody's more important than anybody. And we have to always say be considerate with what each person in this society, what kind of task they're playing, what kind of role they're playing, right? Because no matter what we do, like a kind of we pay our taxes, we do whatever is possible, like just to keep the ball rolling in society. Being a good citizen, good Samaritan, trying to help in anything possible, like by doing the simple things out there or anything like that. But nobody, in our case, nobody is superior than other, right? Especially in a situation like this, where people they gotta cooperate, like they gotta have the will to work together, of course, with a 6 feet distance, right? But kind of the whole idea is to work together, like on the sense gotta be understanding, like in regards to the purpose of each one of us. And to be thankful also that at least we're getting that kind of a opportunity, like being helped out a little bit more monetarily in order to continue living and to continue keeping the ball rolling. Hopefully, like this adjustment in regards to the wages of the essential workers, like it gets to be top of like regulated in a certain way, like for the people that are getting the $2,000 Canadian in this case, right? Like that at least like the essential workers, they can be able like to, if they are working, especially in this kind of a situation, they can get adjusted one way or the other with their wages, like to reach the same amounts like as everybody else is getting, right? Because in a way, some people they were kind of complaining about it. Others they say, oh no, they're not deserving of such. But I believe like everybody, if we're getting the help, everybody deserves such help. And if they're going the extra mile of helping out like with the public, like like to trying to get things going one way or the other, especially in this kind of difficult times, hey, you know what, like why the hell no? They are deserving, of course, like of some motivational way, of an extra benefit for them, like to continue doing what they're doing, right? And hopefully that they don't get sick and become victims of this entire virus. But I'm really happy like for everybody who is continue working out there. Myself actually, like in my personal part, because I usually work from home, I'm still working on my things. I'm preparing actually some big plans for the future. And the thing is, I'm always like up to something, like trying to keep busy. I know some people sometimes they say, oh, I don't know what to do, I'm going crazy, this and that, because kind of things they don't really work out for me, or it feels like everything's in the air right now, like and I don't know what to do, right? So there's always something to do, really, trust me. It's about like expressing your concern, and basically others that they're willing to help you or give you ideas about it, about how to be able to do things. And hopefully when this thing like it kind of comes to an end and we get to restart in everything, we have almost like a reset, and we can start actually like trying to work things little by little, like in order like to get back to the status that once we had. The whole idea is to improve the whole thing. Even if we were not doing so well in the past few years, at least we can be able like to catch up with something and to start from scratch, right, with new ideas. I'm gonna read something from Hector that he just he just commented. Numbskulls here in the States think it's all political hogwash. They don't see what the real deal it is. It's fucking sad. Yeah, it is totally sad, and I actually I'm being told of a lot of injustice going on in the other side of like in United States actually, where it's one of the countries that you would think people worldwide they look up to, thinking, oh, once you go to United States you're gonna improve your economic situation and do greater things, this and that. And guess what, actually even people who are getting sick, being victims of the coronavirus, they have to pay for their bill. I don't know how much is the bill at this point, but it's pretty pathetic in a way that actually a country that everybody look up to, when we grew up looking up to, kind of it comes to that point that actually you have to pay with whatever coin you have, yes, they leave you broke one way or the other, right? And the thing is, there are certain things that they go out of hand that they're not really controlling properly, and that's many people they blame it on the government, and you know what, I'm with you in that part really. Like it kind of the leaders that you guys have had lately, they're not really like some people that actually you can look up to really. Like they're not really improving the system in any way possible. They're just bringing you guys down like one way or the other. I think it's happening in the whole North America. The whole North American system actually is being like that in a way, right? Many people, of course, like they say, oh yeah, Canada is doing better, but you know what? I think each country has its own problems, like one way or the other. There's always like that thing, that philosophy of where the grass looks greener on the other side, and once you get to that other side of the, of the fence, basically it's just not the same anymore. Like it it doesn't look the same way as you used to see it from the other side, right? It's not so much fulfilled with beauty and all of that, right? Let's see what Hector's saying. It will go up, especially here in Florida, with the heat coming with no AC. Here you're dead. Yeah, that's true. I heard that actually in regards to Florida, it can be very nasty over there when it comes to the summer. If you don't have an AC, you're totally dead. If you forget your kid, your pets, or anybody like in your vehicle, you pay a heavy price for that. Totally. It's not even funny in a way, because like it has happened in many situations. It's just because we are always like we are under that sort of like a rat race where everything is rush. There's no moment to stop, to slow down and to think things before proceeding. So a lot of tragedies, lots of consequences, they get to be paid by that sort of situation, right? So the thing is, I would say, for the people who actually are living in the other side of the country, right? In this case, in United States, to be honest, for living here in Canada, I do feel really bad for many of them actually that they're living in the States, because they have expressed their concerns about how they had to basically they don't get the health support that they're supposed to get, right? And unless if you have a really good amount of money, basically you get taken as a priority, all of that. Otherwise you just get neglected like a stray dog or anything like that, which is not cool at all. And the thing is, that's something that goes beyond, that sometimes we feel powerless, or we feel incompetent, that we cannot really do anything about it, because where our opinion sometimes doesn't really count. It doesn't get taken under consideration, right? But the best we can do is it's always to wish everyone else who is not really who they are in the other side of the fence, always tell them, remain strong, give the best of yourself in anything possible, try to motivate them, this whole situation is not over, and you just say one day, of course, to wish them the best, that's the most thing that we can do. The same thing for the people who actually they're exposing themselves to the public, and they're still working hard, in the middle of this entire crisis, which is produced by the coronavirus, that basically it doesn't take much to actually thank them for being providing that service actually that is really required. When it comes to this division of about the non-essential workers or the essential workers and all of that, you know what? Everyone is essential in this society. Everyone basically gives their best possible. I mean, not everybody has the same vision and focus about things, but you know what, if you are one of those people who are actually willing to contribute and wants to get ahead of the game one way or the other, socioeconomically, in any way possible, because you want the best for your family and friends, of course you're gonna do anything possible by doing the right thing. And of course, you don't want to feel supreme or more important than others. You just want to basically provide something good, be a good Samaritan. And of course, to those people, to all of them, I wish them the best possible. That it just want to remind you, it doesn't take much to say thank to each other. Thank you so much for what you're doing at the moment, and for going beyond the limit, going the extra mile, just to make things to keep working, working it as a normal society, one way or the other, keep the ball rolling in one way or the other. what can I say? Yeah, I get pretty emotional on this kind of thing because sometimes like we are very stuck like behind a screen, a camera, a computer, right? Like we're trying to, in this case, my task as having this talk show, I want to express a kind of my concerns and ideas, and I want you as well like to express your opinions about it through the comment sections, and I also you can continue commenting more in this video because it's gonna be archived. But I want actually like people take consideration about like how important it is, like the role that each one of us we play in society is very important, and we shouldn't tolerate anybody to degrade us just because some of us we don't have education, or some of us we have incomplete education, or some of us like probably like we never achieve careers or anything like that. I believe each one of us we are playing a very important role, and the most important role to play right now is to be cooperative with the protocols that is being given to us. If they say, hey, stay at home, do not work at the moment, but we're gonna provide you this support and all of that, continue doing it. You know, you're doing the right thing, because at the same time it can slow down the progress of this virus, of consuming everyone, right? The whole idea is like a kind of take care of yourself, because your life is very important. Make it a priority always, because you are important for your family and friends and for the beloved ones, right? So what else can I say? I'm just gonna read the last comment before I go, because this is already half hour of the show. And Hector Pilar, once again, I want to thank Hector also for his participation so much. And what the government is giving these unemployed isn't going to cover them. I feel sorry for them. Exactly, that's the other thing in regards like to the measure of the wages that of the money, the help, the package deal that they are offering to some of the people that are unemployed. Actually, it's not good enough to cover actually the cost of rent, the cost of living in general, and the cost of to cover food and roof, right? So the thing is, hopefully everything comes to a solution. One thing it is, and I know like you're gonna say, oh, this guy is such a geek, like kind of he keeps saying that thing, like hope is the last thing that you can lose in life. It's true, actually. I learned it from Star Wars. Obi-Wan can always say that in actually like in the episode number 4, right? I know probably some guys are gonna be like, oh, he's talking about Star Wars or anything. No, there are things that actually we wanna learn from each thing, whatever we come across, according to the experience that we're exposed to, right? Hopefully this entire thing that we're going through, this entire crisis, like makes us actually to think a little bit more. I don't know, consider it as a lesson, but it's not a lesson like that I'm saying like, oh yeah, we deserve this lesson, we deserve to die, or others they gotta pay the price for whatever. No, nobody actually deserves to die in any matter. Okay, so let's stay alive as much as we can, right? Surviving this entire situation, and hopefully like the situation improves for everybody. I know it's hard, it's disheartening sometimes, but we have to actually remain strong one way or the other, and to think of solutions instead of thinking of feeding more problems like to the whole situation. So anyways, I want to say goodbye to everybody. I know like he's laughing, okay. Yeah, so anyways, I gotta get going for now. Thank you so much for your attention, to each one of you, for taking your time for half hour of me like spitting all this saliva and rage and fury. No, not so much. I'm not angry today. I'm just I feel like a little bit tired and overwhelmed in a certain way, because I've been keeping busy in a lot of things, right? But at the same time, it's important for me like to carry on with this, because I want to provide an important message to each one of you. Like let's be hopeful for great things to come up. And this was once again the Devil's Cellar Talk Show with Rodrigo Raquio. Love you all. Stay heavy, stay metal. Talk to you later, guys. Be well. Have a good one.